Hey everyone, Coach Hamley here with another episode of The Mental Side brought to you by Slugger Sports Academy. Today is episode 35, Monday Movement Edition. However, before we talk about today's movement, I'd like to thank you for being here whenever you're listening to this podcast, wherever you're at. We'd like to thank you. If you could give this channel a like, this video a like, share out the link, tag myself or Slugger Sports Academy in it, and that's the best way for us to get tractions on this video and continue to spread this positive message. We appreciate that you're here learning along with us on the mental side of things, positive thinking, and being growth minded. So today's Monday movement is on priorities, and this is something that I've challenged myself to do this week. So I'm right here doing it with you, but looking at my week as far as priorities. And what I like to do every Sunday is lay out what I have going on during the week. And I've started to do this I used to just do it on scratch paper, and then I've even started putting it as tasks in my Google Calendar so I get reminders on what's coming up because I have a lot of spinning plates, so to speak. Finishing up a school year. I'm a coach, father, husband, and for me, I need to put things under certain priorities to make sure everything gets the right amount of attention that they should get. And I will preface that there's not going to be a complete balance between all these things. Some weeks, um, certain things get more attention than others, but then you balance it out later on, maybe the following week, to make sure that you're keeping those things on your priority list in check. And so my priorities, I try to keep it simple. I try to just keep it to 4 to 5 things, but I put on there faith, family, health, education, coaching, and then social. So for faith, making sure I'm spending time daily working on my faith, family, dedicating time to my wife and kids, and um, you know, like I said, there might be times where um, you don't get to spend as much time as you would like to on each of those. However, you find a way to make sure that you fit it in at some point during the day, right? And make that time meaningful. So, faith, family, health, education, coaching, and social. So, the way I look at health is working out. Try to work out at least once a day, even if it's just going for a walk, a run. I prefer to get a lift in. However, doing something for my health, physical health, and mental health. So, meditation, reading could go under both, mental health and self education. So, um, but just keeping myself um, where I should be, eating correctly. This weekend we were up north with some family, and you have some s'mores, you have some good food, and that's fine. That's part of being human. But then, because you have that health piece as a priority, you get yourself back on track, right? It's easier to get back on track when you have a plan to get back onto, and those priorities help set up a plan to do that. Education, like I said, kind of with health, is continuing to be a lifelong learner. Learning and reading on my craft and coaching as a teacher. Making sure I'm staying up to date with the newest materials, as a teacher, state standards, curriculum. Those take priority, and that should be something that I try to focus on at least a little bit each day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Making sure you're staying in the know in your craft. And then I also mentioned a priority as a coach. Am I checking in with my guys and making sure that they have the available resources needed? They are now on summer break. They have their summer workout and hitting plan, and just making sure that they have the tools and resources to complete that program, and also just checking in with them to make sure that they're doing okay, especially um, during this present time. Um, it's different, right? And working with college age guys who especially lost most of their season, had to finish out the year learning online. It's just been different. So I really want to make sure that with that coaching piece, I'm focusing on my players. And then social. We are social beings, and so I want to make sure that at least um, I make some time to be social. And especially now, as you can imagine, it might not be with physically seeing someone, but just shooting a text or calling someone, sending out an email. That is a way to stay connected and keep those relationships being built. And what I didn't mention with that priority list is that is in sequence of how I look at it. Faith, family, health, education, coaching, social. And as I move throughout the week, I tally how much I focus on each of those. And then at the end of the week, I assess and see where I'm investing my time. And my time should be invested in that order. So for me right now, like I said, there's not a complete balance in there. Some weeks, there's probably going to be less social. Some weeks there might be more social. Maybe, my wife and family and we just have a week where we're just getting together with friends and family more. And then we might go for a week or two where we're just kind of at home doing our thing, taking care of things around here. So there's not going to be a complete balance. There's going to be a dichotomy where some things are going to take more of a precedence than others. And having this priority list, though, helps keep you in check. It helps keep those priorities at the forefront of your mind. And what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to, have it right on my phone where I'll just check in. And I actually have like a little table set up in my notes where every time I focus or put time into one of these priorities, I just make a little mark that, I spent some time on that. And then at the end of the week, I'll check it on that and see what my priorities are looking like. And we'll see how it goes. So I would encourage you to try that out as you move forward this week. It might help just give you the fuel to hold yourself accountable to achieve those goals. And so I would ask you and challenge you, go and look at your priorities and where your priorities are at. And if you say something is a priority, then it's a priority and you got to stick to it. Give it your attention. And that's not to say that priorities won't shift and move. They're going to be fluid at times. And like I said, some things are going to get more focus than others. But as long as it's a priority and it matters to you, keep working on it, right? And make it a non-negotiable. If you put health on there as a non-negotiable and you tell yourself you're going to work out every single day, you work out every single day, and you will find that you will work that into your schedule. And we don't live in a vacuum. Things are going to come up, and people are going to say, "Hey, let's go hang out. Let's do this." And you'll tell yourself, "Oh, I haven't worked out, but I can work out tomorrow. I'll get another workout in tomorrow." Doesn't normally happen that way, right? We start moving things to tomorrow. We start pushing things back, and what happens? They layer on, they compound. We feel overwhelmed. We feel stressed, and all of a sudden it's just a wash, and we don't get to anything. So when you make things a priority, make it a non-negotiable. Stick with it. If you tell yourself you're going to read every day, even if it's just a few pages, a few minutes. Stick to it, keep track of it, and check at the end of the week and see how you're doing, and then assess from there. Thank you once again for being here on The Mental Side, episode 35. If you would, please give this channel a like, give the video a like, help us gain some traction and get the word out there. And we're going to continue to grow this podcast into something great and help communicate with our community. So until I see you again tomorrow, keep plugging.